Hey guys, Brad here, and I'm just here with Healthman Mark Robinson, and he is a world champion fitness model, and also he's Australia's #1 dietitian. And the reason why I wanted to share this video with you is because, as you guys probably know if you've been following me for a while, that I like to always learn from the best of the best. And for me, when it comes to my body and my health and my nutrition, I found Mark, and I want to just quickly share this with you and share some gems of wisdom for you guys. So guys, so Mark, what I'd just like you to share, what's some of the most, now if someone was listening to this right now and they wanted just to get some, really key points about understanding about nutrition, what would you say?
Yeah, awesome, Brad. Thanks for the intro. Good to be here with you, sir. Look, for me, nutrition is about making it a lifestyle. It's not about thinking of it as a diet, okay, but actually just thinking common sense often. Hey, Brad, we just need to actually a bit of common sense to understand, okay, think about what food falls into what food group. So what are your protein foods? What are your carbohydrate foods? What are the fats? Once we've got a good understanding of that, then we need to know what the functions of each of those foods are. And then we can just eat functionally most of the time.
Yeah.
So for example, your protein foods function to give you muscle tone, shape, definition, boost up your immune system, okay, keep you nice and full. So therefore, let's be very aware of which foods fall into that protein group and eat them most of the time, because it makes sense to eat those protein foods, for all of us, regardless of our goals. And then, carbohydrates can be sugary carbohydrates, but they can also be very good, legitimate, wholesome carbohydrates, which function for energy. So we want energy provision.
Totally,
then we think about, well, when do we want the energy? Around exercise, in the first half of the day, how much energy do we want? That depends on your goals. All of us have a personal goal. So we focus our food around functionally achieving those goals. And then our fats, some of our fats are saturated, which are harmful for the heart and cholesterol, and other fats are unsaturated, being pretty good fats for health, for brain focus, for hormones. So again, we would still like to have some of those fats in our daily structure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And this is one of the things that when I first started working with Mark years ago, I learned that, I was so detailed, and I was so I've got to get everything right. And one of the things Mark first taught me was look, take a common sense approach, make it a lifestyle, and really just understand some of the really key, important, basic things, and then you can work your lifestyle around it. Because often, even when I speak to people about, health or nutrition, when people ask me whether I'm speaking on stage, they always want to know all the the nitty-gritty details and the and get really detailed.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
it's something that I learned, and so I think it would be great if you could just share with them, because what I learned from you as well was the 3T model.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
Thank you. Yeah, so true. So the 3T model actually just reiterates that concept of eating functionally and not taking things almost too seriously and too pedantic, but looking at the big picture. The first T is total, the second T is type, and the third T is timing. So quick summary, the total refers to your total amount of food you're eating in the day, total calories or kilojoules. Introducing those terms and not being scared of it, but just really going across a day, how was my total intake of food? Was I under eating or was I overeating? Did I create an energy deficit or an energy surplus?
Perfect.
Depending on your goals, and then your type of intake, well, that's your macronutrient distribution. Or macros, and that's carbohydrate, protein, fat, and alcohol, the 4 macronutrients, and how we get in a good ratio, again, to fit our goals, because we know the functions of each of them. So are we getting the correct ratio between them to make up our total food? And then the third T is timing, and that's talking about distributing your food across meals and snacks nicely across the day, and not kind of skipping food across the day and then just eating too much before bed. It wouldn't make sense. It also talks about getting your timing right around training, depending on your goals. So total timing really puts things into perspective for me, and I hope it helps.
Yeah, totally. It does for me, because there's a lot of these, diets and these things out there, the keto or the fasted or the all these other things, right? And it really comes back to common sense and following a model that makes sense, which is the 3T model, where you just sort of can go, well, doesn't matter what avenue you choose or what sort of diet sort of thing you want to follow, you've really got to come back to understanding the basics. And so, I highly recommend that. How do these guys find you?
Thanks,
and how would they find you?
That's awesome.
What's the best way?
Yeah, well, right over here, Healthman Mark. You go onto the website, There's numerous packages available on my website, Healthman Mark. Of course, there's Instagram, Healthman Mark. I'm available on all those avenues and
Perfect.
platforms. Thanks, Brad.
Awesome. All right, guys, take care. I look forward to serving you again real soon.
Cheers.
Bye for now.